Hi, welcome to Dr. Mark's Music Notes. I'm Dr. Mark Runkles, and today we're going to learn about the origins of the oboe in Where Did the Oboe Come From? Oboe History Part 1, Precursor and Early Development. This slide shows two modern oboes. The one on the left is my current oboe, made of cocobolo wood by Howarth. The one on the right is my previous oboe, made of grenadilla wood by Loray. They're actually the same length, even though the pictures make the Loray look shorter than the Howarth. We won't go into much of the prehistory of the oboe here, but the modern oboe is a direct descendant of the shawm. The shawm is a conical board double reed instrument that came to Europe from the Middle East. Europeans likely first came into contact with the zurna, as it would have been known to the Middle Easterners during the Crusades. The shawm was played in consorts, meaning that there would have been several different sizes of shawms playing together. The bigger shawms would have played the lower parts, and the smaller shawms would have played the higher parts. Because they are loud and raucous, shawms were played outdoors and often used with the military. Shawms have what's called a pirouette, a disc of wood that the player would rest his lips against. This would place the entire reed in the mouth, which makes for a louder sound and gives less control over volume and pitch. This slide shows a couple of examples of shawms. The one on the right has a large pirouette, and the one on the left has a smaller pirouette. This slide has another example of a shawm. Notice that there's no pirouette. The tone holes are smaller, and there's a metal key just above the bell. The French developed the oboe from the shawm in the latter half of the 17th century. The French term for oboe is oboe, which literally means high wood. They were looking for two things in creating the oboe. One was a double reed instrument capable of playing indoors for more intimate settings, in addition to still playing outdoors. Two was a solo instrument as opposed to a consort instrument. Early oboes were used as obbligato soloists to go along with vocal soloists in early operas and other dramatic works. The culmination of this repertoire in the Baroque era are the numerous solo oboe parts found in Johann Sebastian Bach's partitas. Here is an example of a Baroque oboe. Baroque oboes were made of boxwood. Notice the narrow tone holes. The third tone hole from the top is twinned, meaning that there are two tone holes for one finger. Covering one hole would produce a note 1/2 step higher than the note sounded by covering both holes. Also notice the three keys below the last open tone hole. The new oboe had three main differences with the shawm. One, they removed the pirouette to give the instrument more pitch and dynamic flexibility. Two, they shortened the bell and made the walls thinner. And three, they changed the position of and narrowed the tone holes. The narrower tone holes made the fundamentals, or lower notes, less stable, which made it easier to play an octave higher without needing an octave key. There were only two keys on the Baroque oboe, one for E-flat, and sometimes a second for E-flat that would allow either hand to be on top or bottom, as in the previous slide, and one key for both low C and low C sharp. The same key was used for both notes, with the embouchure determining which one sounded. Oboes were employed by Jean-Baptiste Lully in the court of King Louis XIV. The cultural influence of his court in Paris was what allowed the new oboe to spread throughout Europe. It was an instrument flexible enough to be used in almost every kind of music-making situation throughout Europe. Some of the important oboists of the Baroque era included François Lariche, Onofrio Pinati, Ludwig Erdmann, Johann Ludwig Rose, Alessandro Bezzozzi, Christian Richter, Michael Bohm, and Caspar Glitich. Baroque oboes are still being played today. I would encourage you to start by checking out recordings of Bach's partitas by Ton Koopman, conducting the Amsterdam Baroque Orchestra and Choir. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions, and click the subscribe button for notifications about more information on the oboe and other musical topics. Play on.